In today's time, that is almost $3 billion, and made John Mackay one of the richest men in the world. He's still definitely here haunting the building as our infamous Shadow Man.
Oh, that is creepy.
And my son's very nervous. He can feel the energies pretty good. And then all of a sudden you hear, "Get out."
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can hear that very clearly.
We're gonna be here tonight, searching for proof of the paranormal. Ooh, tracer wire.
Is it okay that we're in here trying to speak with you?
We'd like to.
Whoa.
I don't know what that was.
That was like 4 or 5 footsteps.
Are you serious? Dude, I felt that cult. Oh man, my hair's standing up here.
What?
What?
That was really weird. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Dave, and we are Paranormal Quest.
Today we are going to be investigating one of the most haunted mansions in Nevada, made famous from the gold and silver rush that happened out here in Virginia City, Nevada, back in the late 1800s. This became the wealthiest part of the West Coast, the wealthiest part of the nation during the gold rush. And this house was owned and is now believed to be haunted by one of the richest men to live in that time period, John Mackay.
Oh yeah, you guys, this house is absolutely incredible. We're so excited to make this the first episode of season 13.
And we are going to be investigating, searching for paranormal activity throughout these rooms to see if we can find any proof of claims of the shadow figures, of the strange voices, of the movement, the footsteps, all of the unexplained and ghostly activity that has been seen and reported in this mansion. We're going to be here tonight, investigating, searching for proof of the paranormal. But first, we're going to get a walkthrough from the caretaker, Dawn, who's going to tell us about the history of the Mackay Mansion and about what she believes is haunting this 170-year-old mansion.
That's right, but before we jump into that, guys, make sure that you hit the thumbs up button, the like button, copy and paste the link to this video and share it out with all of your friends, and leave a comment down below. It helps throw us into the algorithm. And let's jump over to the walkthrough.
So this is the Mackay Mansion, and it was built in 1859. She's 166 years old this year, and this is the oldest building in Virginia City. She was the very first one built. She survived the Great Fire of 1875 when 2/3 of the town burned to the ground, so we're very fortunate. And our very first superintendent and one of the men that built the mansion is this gentleman here. His name is George Hurst, and his son, William Randolph Hearst, built the Hearst Castle in California from silver money that his father made right here in Virginia City. And George, he did pretty good here, but by 1871, he thought the silver rush was over, so he sold the mansion and mine to John Mackay, and he left the area. And 2 years in, John Mackay and his partners, they went and hit the biggest silver strike in the world. No one's broken the record yet. It was called the Big Bonanza, and they pulled more than $100 million out of it in the first 3 years. In today's time, that is almost $3 billion, and made John Mackay one of the richest men in the world, number 17 to be exact. And they started calling Mackay and his partners the Silver Kings or the Bonanza Kings of Virginia City. So this is mostly quartz crystal. But the dark, see all the dark gray here?
Yeah.
Those are your silver veins, and there's a little fool's gold in there for fun as well. And then when I flip it over, there's quite a bit more on this side too. That's all silver.
Wow.
Now, people ask us all the time, how do you get the silver out of a hard crystal rock? So what they do is they crush that down into more of a powdered substance, and then they put it into this big container called a smelting pot. They would add chemicals to break that down, and the chemicals that were used mostly were cyanide and arsenic, they'd use a little bit of heat on that pot. It would cause a chemical reaction and the silver would float to the top. Then they could pour it into the molds that made the silver bars. And they still do it that way today. The only difference is they didn't protect their skins from that back in the 1800s. And so there was a lot of death that occurred from the processing of the ore. The skull in the case is real. We call her Veronica. She lost her head, but she's always smiling. And we speculate she may have been murdered because she has a fracture on the top of her head. And then on this side of her head, there's a small hole right in her ear area, which is indicative of an ice picking.
Is there any idea of like dating of when that actually would have happened?
They said it was 1800s, and she's a female, Caucasian in her early to mid 20s is what it was.
Wow.
So yeah. And then, guys, the lights in the house are all original. They all started as gas. They were switched to electricity in the late 1880s by none other than Thomas Edison himself. And Edison was a guest at our dining room table downstairs after he did his little light project. Alexander Graham Bell did our phone on a separate occasion, and he's also had dinner at that very table. Wow. So if the walls could talk, right?
Right.
Now, this picture, I'll move this in just a minute. This was taken back in 1879, and what they're doing is they're getting ready to go down into a mine shaft on a tour, so they're dressed very ruggedly. We've got John Mackay here on the far left, and this was one of Mackay's partners, and we believe he's still definitely here haunting the building as our infamous shadow man. This gentleman's name is James Fair. The money that was made in Virginia City helped to build San Francisco, and it also helped to fund the Civil War. That's why we have our ex-general and president of the United States. That's Ulysses S. Grant right there in the middle. And Grant and Mackay became friends during the Civil War because Mr. Mackay would donate silver to help fund the war. This was taken about 6 years before he passed away, and he brought his family here for a little visit. And he says, Mackay, I want to go down in the ground and I want to see how this whole show runs. He was very curious. And when he came up out of the ground, our newspaper reporter was standing nearby and he yelled, President Grant, may I have a quote? Grant stopped and he thought and he went, well, that's as close to hell as I ever want to get. So what he's referring to, down under the ground here, it's very geothermal. We have over 300 hot springs. The deeper you go, the hotter it gets. Our deepest mine shaft is 3,300 feet deep, and we still have over 750 miles of tunnels down there. They would work in temperatures over 135 degrees Fahrenheit. They could work about 10 minutes at a time. Then they were put into cooling chambers with ice slabs for 20 minutes. It was pretty grueling for them. Now, our miners were the top paid miners in the world. If you went anywhere else in the world to mine at the time, the wages were 80 to 90 cents per day. The miners in Virginia City made $4 a day, but your life expectancy was your late 20s to early 30s. Well, we had a movie filmed in Virginia City in 1995 called Dead Man. And they didn't use the mansion, but they used our train in various locations around town. And the star of the film was driving by and he saw the mansion and he's like, oh, I want to stay there because it'll help me get into character for the movie. Well, this actor said he woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning. He said a little girl in a full white Victorian nightgown was bouncing on his bed. It woke him up. Her name is Emma, and she passed away from tuberculosis back in the 1800s, and she's still here. And we deal with her on a regular basis. I have a photo I'll show you of her in just a minute, but this is the actor, and it's not Michael Jackson. I get that a lot. I know it's funny. Do you guys know who that is?
That's none other than Mr. Johnny Depp.
That's Mr. Johnny Depp. And I didn't work here then, or he'd still be chained to the banister. I'm telling you, I would have kept him. Now, this picture was caught down in the dining room. Where is it? And it's Emma on the stairs in her white nightgown, and she's in the reflection of the mirror.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that picture before.
Have you?
Yeah, I can't remember where it was, but it was a few years ago I saw that picture.
Right on. Do you see how that door over there is set in and this one's more pushed out?
Yeah.
So this is where they decided to hide the vault, and they had to come up with creative ways to protect the silver from being robbed because places were always being cased for robbery. And with folks being able to wander in and out of here during business hours, if they just saw a big metal plated door, they'd come back and rob it. So they hid it behind a wooden door. It looks like a closet. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
And it stayed a secret until about 1883. Someone spilled the beans because 2 men broke in here in the middle of the night thinking the guard would be gone, and our vault was guarded 24/7. He was actually inside. He could hear them breaking in, and he kind of waited until they got right about where you are. And then he slung open the door, he shot them both in the chest, and they died right where you're standing.
Wow.
We changed the carpet, it's okay. The original door is right here as well. Nothing would have been in this room except for the guard, the money, and the silver bars stacked from floor to ceiling. And he would have sat in here for 12-hour shifts with a book, a candle, and his firearms. Maybe a chamber pot if he's lucky. This wall right here that's a curtain used to be all metal plated up, so it used to be just this little tiny room.
And how much would they have paid in here?
Oh, I mean, millions of dollars. I have no idea. I mean, but the silver bars were just all the way up. And then this is the parlor room. So this is the living quarters. We have a diamond dust mirror like the Washoe Club. So you got to film that because it's all sparkly. So back in the 1800s, how they got reflection on mirrors is they used mercury and silver on the back of the mirror. By 2025, that mirror should look pretty bad, kind of like the mirror over here. The reason that mirror looks so pristine is because it's backed with the diamond dust. And those mirrors are extremely hard to come by. If I did that to tried to light up any other mirror in here, that wouldn't happen. We do have about 6 in Virginia City. Ours is the only one in town though with a 24 karat gold leaf frame. It's from Paris, France. It's been hanging here since 1874 and it has been deemed priceless and irreplaceable. Same with the mantelpiece. The mantelpiece is all hand carved. It was brought over from England. It's called English tiger oak. And the man that did that did 3 that we know are famous. One is here, one is in the White House, and one is in Thomas Jefferson's house in Monticello.
Wow.
That's John Mackay up there on the right side of the fireplace. I've seen that man descend the staircase when I've been given day tours, and my tourists have also seen him. Then we've got Mrs. Mackay on the left side, and she's looking like someone just ate the last piece of pie. She's a pretty fierce woman. I'm sorry.
That's me in the morning without coffee.
Right? Now, Mrs. Mackay, she did not like Virginia City, and I kind of understand why. There were 30,000 people on this mountain back in the heyday, mostly men. And that was more than San Francisco and Los Angeles put together. The drinking, gambling, and prostitution wasn't her cup of tea. So when John Mackay hit the big bonanza strike, she tried to move to New York to give her kids a better life. She wasn't in the club. She was considered new money, not old money. Mm-hmm. So they shunned her away like the unsinkable Molly Brown. You guys remember Molly Brown from the Titanic? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's another fun connection to the Titanic. So you guys know the name of the ship that picked up the survivors was called the Carpathia?
Yes.
Do you know the name of the ship that picked up the dead? Because that was a different ship.
I don't.
It was called the Mackay Bennett, and it was John Mackay's ship. And that ship was laying communication cables underneath the ocean when it got the distress signal call. Now, Mr. Mackay had already passed on by then, so his son Clarence Mackay was commissioned for that job. That's Clarence Mackay on his wedding day with his wife, Catherine. And then I want to show you guys, I was doing a tour one day for one lady. She wanted nothing to do with the ghosts. She said they freak her out. So it was just her and I in here, and that big mirror wasn't on the wall. We had a small mirror over there, and she took a photograph in that direction, and I'm standing over here, so it wasn't me in the... She caught in that mirror the yellow panels on the door right here, mm-hmm. and walking through that door in full 1800s maid garb, she caught the maid Harriet. Let me see here.
Whoa. Let me turn the brightness up on this a little bit so you can get a better... That is... Yeah, it's like you can even see the bonnet.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That is so cool.
And then,
Oh, wow.
oh yeah, she's fast. This is her domain, this area right here. So, and she's been pretty active the last few days. This is a post-mortem photograph of Harriet. So her eyes have been sewn open, her mouth has been sewn shut, and she's been posed. A bride got married here, and look at the dark shadow figure that showed up in this room during her wedding shoot.
Yeah, it's like, and it even has motion to it too. You can see, and almost if you look closely enough, there's like a face to the back part of the motion blur too.
Yeah.
Oh, that is creepy. What did the bride think of that?
She's a little freaked out, but she wanted to have. It was during Halloween time.
Yeah.
So she wanted that, and I think it was cool that showed up for her. I've got a recording. My son went upstairs when we first started working here, and he was with a paranormal investigator. They were recording, and they were in the doll room. And my son's very nervous. He can feel the energies pretty good, and he's talking, and you can hear the equipment beeping, and all of a sudden, the gate or the microphone crackled, and the gate banged all by itself. It was like bang, 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 and then all of a sudden you hear, "Get out!" My son goes, "That," because they heard it in real time. And I'll play it for you. It's very soft, but I think you can hear it.
Oh,
That no.
now let's get out of here.
Yeah, enclosed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can hear that very clearly.
And that was when we first took over here, so I felt like they were just being protective.
Sure.
Because I don't feel that anymore.
Right.
Yeah, I don't get that anymore. And then also a woman, her name was Sophie. We think she was another servant. She fell from the top of the stairs and broke her neck and died right here. And that's why this other railing was put in the 20s. Yeah, I think she was pushed. Yeah, I think she was pushed. She's not as active as Harriet, but she's here.
Has anyone ever caught anything related to John Mackay at the Washoe Club?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Because I had a weird experience at the Washoe Club. I was using the Ovilus, and I was up in the room, what they call it, the scratch room.
Okay, the red room.
So I was in the red room, and I had the Ovilus in the red room, and then I stepped outside.
Industry.
What industry is that?
Sugar.
The sugar industry. I mean, that's a pretty good industry to get into. You come to a town like this in the Wild West, get everyone addicted to sugar. Before you know it, they'll be eating out of your hands, literally.
Nice.
So I just happened to Google, I said, Virginia City, Nevada, sugar millionaire. And John Mackay popped up because he owned part of the Spreckles Sugar Company.
I didn't even know that. That's amazing.
So I was like,
Spreckles. I know of Spreckles, but I didn't know he was part owner.
I think he was one of the owners. I'm not sure who else owned it with him, but he was one of the owners of the Spreckles Sugar Company. I was like,
I think there's a connection.
yeah, it was
That's
kind of creepy.
amazing. Yeah,
So
but a good one.
yeah, that's
I like
why
it.
we're doubly excited to be here, because I'm like, okay, well, if he was coming through in the Washoe Club, you know.
Well, then he probably wanted you to visit his house. So.
Mr. Mackay, if you're here and you talked to me at the Washoe Club, we came to your house. We would love to talk to you, sir.
I understand how somebody could fall down these and die.
Yes.
And then this is Mr. Mackey's room. One night we were doing one of the night tours, and I'm standing right here, and there's a man and woman on the couch right there. And then my friend was on the outside of the door. He said he felt something very strange. He just wanted to take a still of me standing right here. Didn't realize his phone was on that live setting. And I'm going to show you what he got. And the shadow man, he walks this way, but there was no person there. This is me. And I hit the button. There he goes. Oops. There he goes.
Oh, yeah, you can see it very briefly.
He's fast. This has been really slowed down.
Wow, yeah, you can see that.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, especially there in front of that. Is that a lamp in the corner there?
Yeah, that's actually, it was a candle.
Oh, it was a
And
candle.
his head looks like it stretches.
Yeah, you can see it especially as it goes across in front of that candle.
Yeah.
Because that's the most noticeable thing, because it blocks out that candle entirely.
So that's our shadow man. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then guys, watch your step. Come on in here. We're going into Mrs. Mackey's room.
Which one of the rooms, not to keep going back to Johnny Depp,
Nope.
but which room, do you know which room he was in where he saw the little girl?
This one.
This one, okay.
A lot of stuff in the mirrors. We get a lot of stuff in the mirrors, guys.
It makes sense you see a lot of stuff in the mirrors, because a lot of people think that mirrors are portals of some kind. You know, there's a reason why they would cover them up before and after a death in the family.
Yeah. And then the last room on the left here is everybody's favorite. It's the creepy doll room.
Oh boy, this is where Miss Molly's gonna feel at home.
Oh yeah, and Molly, I'll have to meet Maddie. Maddie's kind of runs this room.
Uh-oh.
This one is definitely a Victorian doll. She was donated to the mansion. Her name is Anna May. This one has no eyes.
I have a doll with no eyes.
Do you?
At home, yeah.
And then this one is over 200 years old and she's made of wax.
Wow.
And then Maddie is this one over here and she has real human hair and a hand-painted face.
Whoever painted her did a good job of making it as creepy as possible.
Oh yeah. Maddie, you have company. She's gonna go, what?
Not as an insult, Maddie. I apologize if you're insulted by that. I didn't mean that in a bad way. I just meant that you're beautiful.
Oh, she's smiling, it's okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this room has got an interesting vibe to it. A lot of people, describe like they're rocking on a ship in here. Like the energy just makes them kind of feel off balance.
Okay.
And then I've gotten very strange odors in this room. And then I've also had a lot of uncomfortableness. This is where that recording that I'll send you that told Halen to get out.
Okay.
That was this room.
That.
This one is not as steep. These are, this is that table that Grant, Edison, Bell, and Mark Twain have all sat at. The chairs are not original, but the table is. The chandelier in the center of the room is pure coin silver right out of the mine. Wow. It's pretty cool. And then you guys can come under here. I kind of sit down right here. I kind of like it because this is where Emma likes to play. She gets in here and whatnot.
Wow.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how old is that table?
The table is 166 years old.
Wow.
And it's got more leaves to it as well, so it gets longer.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God.
That's incredible.
For sure. Well, Dave, you ready to get started with the investigation here? I'm excited to see what we capture here at the Mackay Mansion in Virginia City, Nevada.
I'm ready. This is one of the coolest places we've been in a long time, and I'm excited to see if we can talk to some of the spirits here tonight.
Let's do it. Let's get started.
Let's do it.
All right, we're getting ready to leave for abandonment. We have 3 cameras set up through the Mackay Mansion, and we're going to leave for about an hour. This is our experiment to see if anything happens, any paranormal activity, anything unexplained, any ghostly sightings happen when no one is inside this mansion to be able to witness them. Right now, we're on the first floor, and remember, in this room, there were some thieves, some people trying to steal the silver from the safe back here who were actually shot and killed in this room. So we have some equipment in here. We have a camera also in the main hallway covering that second floor with a device that we like to call, and is called, the tracer wire, which detects physical objects that impede the LiDAR, and it'll light up white if something is standing on that LED strip, and then it'll track the movement with red light. So if there's anything that stands in that hallway, we'll see it. We also have a camera in Mr. Mackey's room, and remember, that is the room where when Dawn and a few friends were here, they caught that really creepy shadow that moved across the room. So hopefully we capture something similar in there.
Oh, I hope so. That would be awesome.
Yep, so are you ready, Dave?
I'm ready. First abandonment of season 13, you guys. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button, throw us into the algorithm. We really appreciate it. Leave us a comment down below. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's go. Way too dramatic.
I didn't think it was too dramatic.
Way too dramatic. I'm going to grab my shoes so I'm not wearing slippers outside.
That's a good idea.
We're also running on Ghost Chatter. Everyone remember, this is an app that is not speaking for the spirits. This is asking questions for us while we're gone. So you're going to hear a voice come from this. And this is going to be someone, a human-like voice, asking questions in hopes that we get a response in the environment. So Ghost Chatter is available now for both iOS and Android. You can find it in the App Store or the Google Play Store.
Go download it.
We're officially walking out of the building. We're leaving.
Hello, anyone there? Can you make a noise for me?
This noise is subtle, and on first listen could even be mistaken for a creak of an old house. But what I'm about to point out is shocking and exciting, because as this tapping noise happens, the vibration sensor on the EDI Plus meter spikes to its max. This sound is so subtle that there's only one way it could cause a vibration so noticeable to the meter, and that is if it came directly from the bed frame the EDI Plus meter is sitting on. We can't say for certain what tapped on the bed. All we know is it shouldn't make any noises on its own, as it's a part of the museum and no one is allowed to sit or lay on it. Could someone or something have just tapped on John Mackay's bed frame?
Can you make a noise?
We're back.
We're back. All right, so we're getting ready to head upstairs here at the Mackay Mansion, first session here for tonight. And we're excited because the second floor is riddled with paranormal stories of paranormal activity and ghost sightings. And this is an area that we have heard so much about and we're excited to investigate, but we don't want to miss any activity down here on the first floor. So we'll give them a little bit of space, but what we're going to do is we have motion sensors down here. And those motion sensors are going to alarm if anything passes in front of them. One of the motion sensors here in the parlor is set to like a bird chirping sound, and then there's a motion sensor set up in that foyer entry room, the room where the gentleman who tried to rob the safe was shot.
Yeah.
There's one in there, and that's more of like a doorbell sound effect. So if we're upstairs and we hear the motion sensors go off, that's gonna be really creepy.
Yes. Let's hope they go off.
I hope so.
Here we go, guys. Season 13, let's start it.
Let's go upstairs. All right, so Dave is going to set up that camera down at the end of the hallway here, and we're gonna turn on some equipment up here, and then we're gonna see what happens as we investigate the second floor moving between these rooms. And we're gonna go ahead and set up here in a little bit Miss Molly, the soon-to-be haunted doll, in the doll room here at the Mackay Mansion. I'm gonna give Miss Molly some friends. Miss Molly is the soon-to-be haunted doll. We've been taking her to all of our investigations. She is not a haunted doll, but we're taking her to investigations because we wondered if we brought a not haunted doll on a bunch of paranormal investigations, can we actually make a haunted doll? That's the goal. So we'll see if that happens tonight.
Okay. You want to double check that? Make sure that looks okay?
So here's what we'll do. To start with, I'm going to go ahead and turn the Ovilus on, and I'm going to set it in the doorway here behind Dave. On the... Ow! It was right on my toe. Nothing like a $500 piece of equipment almost breaking your toe.
That'll do it.
Wench, before time.
Those were the calibration words for the Ovilus. This takes readings of the environment, and then we'll take that data, those readings, converted into words. It's an experimental piece of equipment, but they believe that if there is some sort of energy around it, that it could be manipulated to cause this device to say certain words. So we'll be listening for it to say words. Hopefully it'll say something relevant.
Hopefully.
I'm going to go ahead and actually set it on top of the case so the case is out of the way.
Now, where do we want to be at?
You want to start here in the hallway?
Yeah, here, take this. And I'm going to slide the tracer wire down this way a little bit.
Okay.
You want me to take that back?
If you want to, if you'd rather film.
Yeah.
All right, so we're up here. My name is Ryan, and this is Dave, and we came up here to talk to you. We're friends. We heard about maybe some people that live here that are seen every now and again. People like Harriet and Emma and Mr. and Mrs. Mackay and his business partner. And if you're able to hear our voices, maybe you can do something to show us that you're in here.
Mrs. Mackay, in your bedroom, we set up a device, we set up a thing that'll play music. Whoa.
Tracer wire just detected a rise in temperature in this hallway. Are you right over there by the light that's going back and forth? If you can you try and grab that blue light or step on it? Just try and catch it under your foot.
Maybe the little girl Emma's here. Emma, if you can see that light, that toy on the ground, it's blue. Can you try and catch that with your hands?
Or maybe you're the other little girl named Lily, I think it was.
Maybe.
I remember reading about a little girl named Lily, maybe. I've got this strange feeling up here that I didn't have before.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't know if it's us being watched or what. We invited you to the party. You're more than welcome to come in and say hello. Mr. Mackay? Iron?
Yes.
Iron guess.
Mr. Mackay? Last year we were at the old Washoe Club, the Millionaires Club that you were the founding member of. And that same box that's behind Dave was talking to me about the sugar industry.
Industry.
What industry is that?
Sugar.
The sugar industry. I mean, that's a pretty good industry to get into. You come to a town like this in the Wild West, get everyone addicted to sugar. Before you know it, they'll be eating out of your hands, literally.
Nice.
If that was you, can you give us a sign? I researched and looked up. I read about it. You own part of the Spreckles Sugar Company. Do you still love sugar? What was that?
I heard it sounded like a thumping sound.
Can you make a louder sound for us if you can hear our voices?
Statement. River. Raised.
Do you have a statement for us? You have something you want to say? In Mrs. Mackey's room, there's a box that if you walk in front of it, it'll play music. It'll play a pretty sound, a pretty song. Would you like to hear the music box play a song?
Surface.
Let's walk in here for a second.
Okay.
18. Unlock.
So, right at the feet of the doll that we brought, which you're more than welcome to play with, we put a green and orange thing, if you can see that. And I know people have probably brought them in here before. You can touch it and it'll let us know you're here, that you want to play with the doll. So if you want to play with that doll, can you touch that green light with the stick coming out of it? It's like a fun little toy.
Try.
You can try again. We won't be afraid or offended. We'll think it's pretty cool that you're playing with the toy we brought. We know Maddie is the one that is in charge in this room, according to Dawn. She told us that Maddie is the top dog in this room of dolls. The top doll.
Drive.
We did. It's a drive. What if I sit down on the floor here and get down to your level and we can play?
All right. Well, I'm going to come into the room here if that's okay. If you'd rather that I didn't, can you touch the green light right there? And I won't come in. Okay, I'm going to step in. I'm sure you've seen us in the house today. We were invited to come in by the current caretaker. They said we could come in and try to talk to everybody in here tonight. We brought a doll for anybody who would like to play with the doll. She's right here. Her name is Molly. You want to try to pick her up and hold her? Well, my name is Dave, and this is Ryan, and we came all the way here to talk to you.
You might have heard of the state that we're from. It was very recently formed when Virginia City was founded. It's the state of West Virginia. Do you remember when West Virginia split from Virginia and rejoined the Union? During the Civil War, during the war between the states? Ovilus has been uncharacteristically quiet.
Yeah. The last thing I said was vowel.
Yeah, which was during that EVP session.
I do want to try something. I'm going to take the doll, and I'd like for you to follow me. This area right here.
The attic?
Just this little area right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you might see a couple of pieces of plastic on the landing over there. That's from the tracer wire. I just set it over there earlier.
Okay.
Let's step into John's room here.
Okay. We're going to go in here. You can play with that doll.
I'm going to do another EVP session.
Okay. I heard that.
That's okay. Go over and pick up the doll.
I don't know where that movement is coming from.
I don't either. Come on out. You don't have to hide. This is your house. And if you don't want my doll or my item that I set there with the bright lights there, you can push them down, push them over if you don't want them there. Okay, this is Mr. Mackey's room, second EVP session. I'm gonna lay this on your bed here, Mr. Mackey. Whoa. Something out in the hallway again. Yeah.
If you see that bright light right there, John, if we can call you John, we don't mean to be rude. We'll start with Mr. Mackey. We don't want to call you by your first name and be inconsiderate, but you can talk into that, Mr. Mackey.
Mr. Mackey, we're going to ask you a series of questions, and we'd like for you to respond to us by talking in or near that red light right there that's on your bed. First, I'd like to ask, is it okay if we call you John?
If it's okay that we call you John, Mr. Mackey, say yes very loudly.
We were given a tour of your home today, and from the looks of it, you liked the very opulent things in life and future technology. And we brought you some new technology, some future technology that you can interact with today. That green light right over there that leads up to the attic. Can you see that?
I'm feeling a cold breeze across my neck. What?
I just saw a little black shadow right here.
Are you serious? Dude, I felt that cold. Oh man, my hair's standing up. I felt a cold breeze across my neck.
It was right here. And it just went from here to there. I don't know what would be that small or low to the ground, but
I wish I had pointed the camera over there in that moment. I had just pointed it over there, so maybe it caught something if it was there previously.
I hope.
Ooh,
I saw
tracer wire just indicated a temperature change.
Yeah, are you seeing our future technology here? I figured you would like it.
That gave me chills.
Yeah, I still got them.
Just after I'd panned the camera away from the attic stairs, Dave saw a shadow move in that direction.
I'm feeling a cold breeze across my neck. What?
I just saw a little black shadow right here.
Are you serious?
After checking the static camera at the end of the hall, I can't see any shadow movement, and if any is visible, it's hidden by the wall and wasn't seen by the camera. We have no idea what caused the shadow that Dave saw, and because it wasn't captured on camera, I have no data to analyze and debunk it. But it is very strange that just before Dave saw the shadow, I felt a cold air on the back of my neck from the same direction.
I'm feeling a cold breeze across my neck. What?
And moments after, the tracer wire picked up on a change in temperature as well.
Ooh,
Saw
tracer
that.
wire just indicated a temperature change.
Is it possible that Dave saw Emma, the young girl who's seen and photographed throughout the Mackay Mansion?
All right, I'm going to end this.
Okay.
You guys, that was really weird.
Okay, this is Mr. Mackey's room, second EVP session. Gonna lay this on your bed here, Mr. Mackey. If you see that bright light right there, John, if we can call you John, don't mean to be rude, we'll start with Mr. Mackey. We don't want to call you by your first name and be inconsiderate, but you can talk into that, Mr. Mackey. Mr. Mackay, we're going to ask you a series of questions, and we'd like for you to respond to us by talking in or near that red light right there that's on your bed. First, I'd like to ask, is it okay if we call you John? It's okay that we call you John, Mr. Mackay. Say yes very loudly. We were given a tour
What was
of
that?
your home today.
Oh no.
Here, I'll switch you.
From the room. Given a Say yes very loudly.
What is that?
We were given a tour. Okay, call you John, Mr. Mackay. Say yes very
That's a very... Let me see that camera. Did you hear the ovilus speak?
No, I didn't. What did it say?
It said something very childlike. It said hippity hop.
Huh.
It's been quiet for 15 minutes now.
Yeah.
A good while at least. But yeah, it said hippity hop.
That's a bit odd.
Anyway, I'm going to listen to that again to see what it was that...
Let's go back over here just in case this goes off.
Did you listen to it one time? It doesn't sound like a voice
We
though.
were given a tour of your home today. We were given
I hear something there, but it doesn't sound like a voice at all. We'll have to watch back the cameras and listen to our audio to know whether or not there was something that made a noise at that point. But if it's okay that we call you John, Mr. Mackay, say yes very loudly.
It's okay that we call you John, Mr. Mackay. Say yes very loudly. Say yes very loudly.
Again, it could have been anything, and it could be audio pareidolia, it could be apophenia, my ears could be hearing what I want to hear. But you tell us in the comments if you hear something in that moment there that sounds like a voice. And if you do hear it, what do you hear? Sir, I think when we were at the Washoe Club, you used this to talk to me about sugar. I could be wrong. And I know you're probably... I had chills. You know what I wanted to say that I didn't get a chance to say was when you saw that shadow, that little shadow, before you even said anything, the reason I turned around is because I felt like this cold, cold air on the back of my neck.
Really?
Like someone was standing behind me. And I felt that, and I turned around. When I turned the camera back around to you, that was when you saw it, because immediately, as soon as the camera fell on you, you were like, you know.
Yeah, it caught me off guard. But that's really weird that happened right before I saw that.
Right, it was like immediately before. I was getting ready to say I feel like cold air, and then you freaked out. Can you say hello to us? Or maybe say your first name? I would ask you to say your last name, but I don't think that's in this box. Also very strange. I mean, it's not strange because it means there's nothing happening, which is in turn not strange. But the music box has been very quiet.
Yes.
Over there in Mrs. Mackey's room. Or maybe you can use that box to say one of our names. We told you what our names were when we first came up, if you were here to listen. Everything's gotten so quiet up here.
It has. Should we try and switch it up and go downstairs?
Yeah. Try a different technique, different tactic.
Let's do it.
Let's go downstairs. Okay, so we are getting set up and started here at the Mackay Mansion on the first floor. We're going to be doing a little bit of a walk around here. We're going to be using Ghost Tube to try and see if we can get any relevant responses. And then we are going to, after that, sit down to do an Estes method spirit box session outside of the safe where those thieves were actually shot. And it was one of the more violent deaths here at the Mackay Mansion, where those two thieves trying to break into the safe and the security guard shooting them. So right here in this, right outside this safe is where that happened, and we're going to try and maybe hopefully communicate with those two gentlemen who lost their lives there.
Yeah.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Whoa. I don't know if that was inside the safe or if that was...
Could you do that again for us?
What? I heard something. Oh, you did?
Are you still in there guarding that money? I mean, it wasn't. No. But it happened when you were talking about those guys.
Right. Are those two gentlemen here with us tonight? Those two thieves? Pulling out Ghost Tube, and just so everyone knows, my device is in airplane mode, as you can see, so it's not going to set off any of the equipment around us. It's always important whenever you're using any sort of phone app or anything that requires cell phone use, if you can put your phone in airplane mode, to do it so it doesn't interfere with EMF equipment.
You know, we set up these bright lights and devices for you.
Clean.
And you made them go off. You made them alarm. And that's what we wanted you to do.
What did it say?
No.
Clean.
What did we say when we were laying on the floor down here right before we started this session? You were stretching your back by laying on the floor. And we were just joking around about how we were being lazy and how it wouldn't look good back in that time.
Yeah.
And you said, like the old saying goes, if you have time to lean, you have time to...
Clean.
Right. Literally said that right before we started this. Mm-hmm. Not that that's a response or anything. It's just kind of weird and ironic. Kind of coincidental. You don't have to set that stuff off, though. Were you listening to us when we were in here?
Am I standing in the same spot
I remember you.
where you shot those men?
We've never been here, but we were up at the Washoe Club last year. Do you remember us from when we were at the Washoe Club?
Infant.
Since that equipment is being monitored, let's walk over to
Yeah.
the other room.
Would it, do you think you could lend me a bar of silver?
Are you scared?
No. Can you try to scare me?
Success.
Nothing happened. There's no success.
Let me ask you this. I heard that, Mr. Mackay, I heard that when people were having tough times, you would anonymously give them pieces of silver to help them out. If that's true, can you touch that bright red light, orange light, green light that I put on the mantle there?
Why are you asking?
Well, there's a new docent of the home, and that's what she told us about your legacy. The kind things that you would do for people.
What was that? Sounded like something moved in that desk right there.
That is Mr. Mackey's desk.
That is his desk.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. You don't have to... I know it's probably embarrassing, someone asking you about something that you had expected to remain a secret.
Let me.
Let you what?
I just thought it was very admirable.
Give it to me.
And if I was in your position, I would do the same thing. So I just wanted to say thank you for helping those unfortunate people. You didn't have to, but you did.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely. There's a camera clicking in the corner for reference.
Let me come over here. Because I want to be able to see that tripwire if it goes off.
I forgot that was there.
Me too.
You can switch it off if you want.
No, it's all right. I'm coming over here.
You hear that music?
Stand over here.
Can you stand there and
Right there.
walk right in front of that and you can hear that music again? I'd like to see if you could do that for us.
We'd love to hear it. I don't know what that was.
That was like 4 or 5 footsteps.
Yeah. We'd love to hear it. I don't know what that was.
Something awful happened at the bottom of these stairs.
Don't leave me.
You know, earlier I spoke about the Mackeys enjoying and welcoming future technology. I'm holding the most technologically advanced thing. And you can use this
I can hear you.
to communicate with us. So we think.
If you can use that, can you use it to say your name? That'll be a way for us to know that you actually can use that. You can be a part of an experiment for new technology. If you get close to Dave over there and try your best to say your name through that box he's holding, it'll allow us to know that you're here and that you can hear us.
You good?
It was in time lapse that whole time. Now I'm good. It's in video. I just happened to look up and I was like, there's no way it's only 1 minute and 1 second. Sorry guys, I had a face cam rolling here and that's really embarrassing. I was using this face cam. I even talked to it a good bit at the beginning. And I didn't even realize that the GoPro was set in time-lapse mode still from when we had it outside, so I was taking a time-lapse of my face. Which Was that you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Satisfied.
Which I'm going to play for you right now. So now that we're back and I'm actually here on video.
Candy.
We don't have any candy. But now that I'm here on video and it's actually recording me, let's get back into it.
Isn't it strange how neither piece of equipment in there has gone off since?
Right. That is pretty strange.
Well, if you didn't hear, my name is Dave, and this is my friend Ryan.
Hello.
And we came all the way from the newly formed state of West Virginia just to talk to you. It took us 47 days by horse to get here.
Your southern accent's coming out there, Dave.
Was it?
Yes. Took us 47 days by horse.
It took us 47 days by horse. Let me ask you this, Mr. Mackay. John. In this house anywhere, did you hide any gold or silver? That nobody would find, not even your family? And if you did, can you tell me where it is?
Crazy.
He is crazy.
Yeah.
That he is.
I feel like we should go upstairs.
You think? We can take a sweep through there.
Okay.
Because we're going to be coming back down here to do the Estes, so
Yeah.
it might be beneficial to do a sweep with Ghost Tube up there. And if that music box goes off, we'll hear it, and so will the camera and over by the safe.
Yeah. We're going to go ahead and come upstairs.
Floor.
What about the floor?
Is that where the silver's hidden? Is under the floor?
I'm going to tell you right now, it's a whole different vibe up here than it was earlier.
Okay. These stairs are so steep.
Convenient.
Are you in here with the dolls? If you are, can you push this gate closed? Well, probably not because it's being held open. Maybe you could do this to the gate. Can you do this? What was that?
Something on these stairs over here.
Dennis.
Is there somebody named Dennis here? Mrs. Mackay, are you decent? Can we come in your room?
Listen to us.
We're trying.
Round.
I know we've done it a bunch, but do you still have that recorder? We could do a burst. Let's go in Miss Mackey's room.
Okay.
Miss Mackay, we're going to come in and try and have a conversation with you.
What? The mannequin? With the dress?
Yes. Oh, wow.
Got him good.
Watching. Familiar.
You're familiar with this? Well, if you're familiar with this, I'm going to turn on this box. This box has a red light on it. You'll see it glowing red. And if you speak into that glowing red light, we should be able to hear your voice.
Should I stop this or let it go?
You can let it go.
Okay.
EVP Mrs. Mackey's room, 2nd floor. What's your name? Anyone that's in here? My name is Ryan and this is Dave and we don't mean any harm.
Mrs. Mackay, we heard that you eventually went to New York and they didn't really accept you there. How did you feel about that? Also, what was it like to have the president in your home?
Choked.
I bet it was an interesting time, an interesting experience.
What's it like where you are right now? Is it peaceful?
Play.
Do the kids, are you wanting to play?
If you want to play, can you throw something to us? We'll catch it. Or try. We're going to listen back to this and you throw something if you want to play.
EVP Mrs. Mackey's room, 2nd floor. What's your name? Anyone that's in here?
We listened back to this EVP session, but the recorder didn't capture anything strange or unusual.
We're gonna listen back to this and you can throw something if you want to play.
Nothing. Don't say that at the same time as me.
So we decided it was finally time to go back down to the safe to conduct our Estes Method Spirit Box session. The 2 most violent deaths occurred in this room, so maybe if I sit in the doorway of the safe, someone will want to speak to us. While we're getting set up for the Estes, I realize that I forgot an important piece of equipment.
We're going to be doing an Estes Method Spirit Box session. We don't normally do these Esteses this way, the Estes Method. We normally use a regular spirit box and we record it through a digital audio recorder. I accidentally left those digital audio recorders in my suitcase, so we're gonna actually, in order to still get to do an Estes session, so we don't have to completely cut it out and not do it, we're gonna use Ghost Tube Vox. I'm gonna turn the sweeping on for Ghost Tube Vox, use these noise canceling headphones, and I'll try and do an Estes session that way.
But this would also backfire on us, because for some reason, once Vox was connected with our Bluetooth headphones, it only recorded mine and Dave's voices, and excluded the voices that I was hearing in the headphones. Because of this unfortunate malfunction, for only the second time in over 5 years, we don't have the Spirit Box audio to be able to share with you. But we still find this Estes session quite interesting, so we want to share it with you.
Hi. And then a woman said, "Speak up."
All right, guys, so we are doing the Estes session. Any of the spirits here
Yes.
who are in the building, in the house, I'm going to be asking you some questions. And my friend Ryan is going to be listening. And he can hear what you're saying. Just speak to him, and he'll be able to hear you. Can you tell us what your name is? Who's here with us?
Going. They are, but
Are any of the Mackeys here in the home? Mr. Mackay, Ryan is sitting in front of your incredible safe that you built over there.
any interest?
Are you able to tell him something about yourself?
Looking?
We absolutely love your house. It's beautiful.
A resident? Do they and they?
Do you ever just come back to visit your home? Or are you always here? Or do you just stop in from time to time?
You to or get to or something like that?
We're just curious and would like to talk to you. And we think you'd be able to talk to Ryan over there. What were the names of the men who broke in here to try to steal your fortune? How many of them were there?
Enough?
We heard that they were immediately taken out by your security guard.
Ooh, I feel like there's someone standing on my right-hand side right here. They're covered?
He did a good job of protecting.
Something is here, someone's here. Ooh, and then I heard a woman's voice say, "Ooh, Latino."
Does it upset you, Mr. Mackay, that people come in?
Go sit.
Go sit? We're not allowed to sit on any of the furniture.
Who are you? And then I heard, "These are criminals."
No, we're not criminals. We're not here to take your possessions.
That was all a woman's voice. The same woman's voice.
But you told me to sit. So I will sit right here.
Just about.
We're not criminals, I can promise you that. Okay?
Destruction.
If anything, Mr. Mackay.
He better. In danger.
Nobody's in danger.
She's right.
Can you tell me, whoever's listening, there's a dress right here to my right-hand side. Whose dress was that? It's right over here.
Lie.
Whose dress was that? We heard that your assistant was very loyal. Is he still in the home here?
Hi.
Ooh. Is this the assistant? Is this Mr. Mackey's assistant? Is it okay that we're in here trying to speak with you?
We'd like to.
I'd like for you to speak to us too. Can you tell Ryan over there how many fingers I'm holding up? If you can hear me? We're just here to try to talk to you, that's all. We don't mean any harm. We're not going to steal your gold. We're not going to steal your silver.
Indoor.
We're not going to steal all of your riches.
Close enough.
We don't want anything. Except to talk to you. That's it. Okay?
There was a voice there I couldn't make out. I'll have to review it. It's like, I don't think something, but I couldn't make out the last part.
When we were here last year, we were up at the Washoe Club, something that you helped create. And we had a word come through.
Bridge the gap.
I just felt cold air on my face. The word that came through was sugar. Mr. Mackay, does that mean anything to you? Sugar?
That's him? And then a man's voice said something phasm or something like that?
We know
That was Spanish that I just heard there.
Can we have some sugar?
Think that can be.
That sounded weird.
Spanish again. More Spanish. I just heard something about money there. I'm not quite sure what it was, but it said someone said something about money.
We're not going to take your money. Like I said, we're just here to listen to anything that you might have to say. So, I'm just trying to think of anything that you'd like to talk about. Are there any messages
What have you done?
Are there any messages, Mr. Mackay, that you have for any of your children? Hopefully, you and your children are back together and spending eternity together.
People catch up.
There were some very important people that you had in this home. Mr. Twain, Mr. Graham, Mr. Edison, the President. You were friends with a lot of very important people, and you were very important yourself.
More Spanish, I just heard.
Did you enjoy living here in Virginia City?
Yes.
Whoa.
Man's voice.
I really enjoy Virginia City as well. I would like to live here.
I thought I just heard someone say doll.
We did bring a doll. Do you like that doll? If there are any spirits here that would like to attach themselves to the doll that we brought, you can do that, but only to the doll.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But you can't attach your energy to me, and you can't attach your energy to Ryan. It can only be to the doll. So, is that something you want to do?
Hi.
Hi. Mr. Mackay, was everything that you had put into that safe, or did you have other hiding spots for your fortunes? I'm not going to ask where they are.
I just heard a man say something about murdered. They're murdered or something.
Are you talking about the two men who broke into your house to try and steal your fortune?
Ultimately.
Somebody told your secret about how you were hiding all of your money in the safe, and then they came in and tried to steal it, didn't they?
Out.
If you'd like for us to get out, if that's what you're saying, can you confirm that by touching one of the bright lights that we've set up around the house? Earlier, upstairs, I saw a shadow go right across the attic steps, right at the bottom of them. What was that shadow?
Ooh, it said lady in the mirror.
Lady in the mirror. Is that who the shadow was? A lady? It was a very small shadow.
I suppose.
Okay. Does that lady have a name? Can you tell me that? Does she have a name?
And the boy.
Earlier you...
Sid.
A boy named Sid? Earlier you told me to sit down, and I'm still sitting down. Can I get back up?
Remember. Maria?
Wow. So is the lady in the mirror's name Maria?
And a doll.
Okay, that's weird. What is it about the doll? Which doll are you talking about? Are you watching us right now? Is it rude of me to be sitting on the floor?
We'd like to.
Is it rude of me to be wearing a hat in your home? Mr. Mackay, I'm looking at your photo here.
The kitchen.
How old were you in this photo?
The day that it started.
Is there anything that Ryan or I could help you with? Is there anything at all that you need? Any messages that you need to get to anybody? Any unfinished business that we could maybe help with? Anything?
You boy.
I'm just trying to be kind and make communication with you, but if you would like for me to stop trying to talk to you, let me know somehow. And I'll stop talking. Is the shadow that I saw upstairs, was that Maria? Is that what you were saying?
They're strong. What would you do?
That was a good TV show.
Like you said.
Well, Mr. Mackay, Mrs. Mackay, is there anything that you need to say?
I don't need anything.
What? Okay. Well, wow, that was really cool.
My kid.
Yeah, your kids are right here, aren't they? You did a good job providing for your family.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you here now?
So, you understand, or glad you understand, or something like that?
I know you worked hard to make sure everybody was taken care of, didn't you?
Not the wedding.
Was there anything else in life that you wanted to do that you never got to do? Or were you happy with your life?
Painful, maybe, or something like that?
All right, Mr. Mackay. Any final words?
Very, very important. Something about Carol and Carol, or something about Carol.
I'm pointing at somebody here. Can you tell Ryan who I'm pointing at? Who is this?
That sounded really funny. Something about, it was like, the booty!
Okay.
One step.
I'm going to go get Ryan. This is your last chance to say anything. Could you say goodbye?
Dessert. Oh, hi. It's funny. It was like, dessert. And then you tapped me on the shoulder.
Ready for dessert?
Oh, wow. I just heard thank you come through here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Interesting. Any of that make sense?
Some of it was pretty interesting.
Well, that's good.
More towards the end there. Don't ask me what, because I don't remember.
I'm sorry. Ugh. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if I inhaled dust there or what was going on, but
I don't know.
ooh, that hurt. My lungs just started hurting.
Well, if you guys liked that type of Estes session and you want us to do more from time to time, leave a comment down below. And maybe we'll do something like that.
Before we end up packing up and ending the night here at the Mackay Mansion, do you think we should go and sit outside the dining room where the famous Ulysses S. Grant and Thomas Edison and Mark Twain and all those famous people ate dinner?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go down there for a few minutes and see if anything will happen.
Let's go.
We're headed down to the famous dining room. Want to set up some equipment outside the door to see if anyone wants to actually speak to us. I ran the tripwire up the stairs here, so if anyone comes down the stairs, we'll be able to see it there on the tripwire.
Okay.
All right, so we have everything set up down here. We have the tripwire, the EMF tripwire running up the stairs here. We have the REM pod here on the banister at the end. And then, because we're not allowed into the dining room, we laid down here on the floor and we're able to feed the tracer wire underneath the gate here so you can see the actual base that generates the LiDAR is outside. The LED strip we kind of just set on the floor and pushed underneath the gate. So now we have the tracer wire running into the dining room there. So if anyone is in there and they actually stand on that tracer wire, it'll light up white, and then where the movement was will be red. So
Yep.
we'll see what happens. If there's anyone here with us and you're in the dining room, come out and play with us. Dawn told us that the children like to play under the stairs there behind Dave. We've come all the way from West Virginia to speak to you. Thousands of miles we traveled to have the opportunity to speak to you, and we would really love it if someone would actually come out and let us hear their footsteps, or if someone would come out and speak out loud so we can hear your voice. What time is dinner? If dinner's coming up at any point in time, can you go ahead and touch one of these lights? If any of the kids are here, these purple lights that run up the stairs, if you actually try and grab one of those, it'll change colors. And we'll see where you are. It's like a fun toy. Can you grab one of those that's on the stairs?
There were a lot of important meetings and conversations that happened right here at this dining table. If you were here for any of those conversations, could you go stand at that blue light right there? We heard Mr. Edison had dinner in here. Mr. Twain had dinner in here. Watch this. Look at my foot. Can you do that with your foot?
If there's anyone upstairs, come on down. Dinner's served. I don't know if you had a dinner bell or a gong or a... screaming person to scream to you when dinner's ready.
A screaming person.
That's what I had when I was growing up. My mom from the other side of the house. Dinner! She didn't sound like that. Sorry, Mom. That was a bad impersonation. Dinner's ready!
We're calling... Did it go off? Oh, no, it didn't go off. I'm trying to get it. We're calling upon all of the people in the house to come down to the dining table for an important middle of the night meeting. There's been word that some bandits are going to try to break in the house and steal the silver and gold. So we need everybody to come down the steps here and sit around the table.
It's not the first emergency I would have gone with, but that's fine.
Hey, that silver and gold is important.
It is. And you got to keep the bandits away from the silver.
You absolutely do.
We heard there was a mine collapse right over here to the side of the house. This shaft that used to sit over here where the gazebo is now.
So the gazebo is built over a 2,600-foot mine shaft. Many of those men are still down there. They were collapsed upon and never made it back up to the surface. So we do our wedding receptions out there, and they dance. People dance on top of that, and it kind of brings up the energy. They seem to like it.
Yeah.
If you guys do want to go out there and see if you get anything, you might. You can go out this door.
Okay.
Miners trapped underneath, never recovered, still down there. Are any of those men here? You know what I always thought of?
What?
You know how with like the Winchester mansion, Sarah Winchester thought that she and her husband were haunted by the spirits of everyone killed with the Winchester rifle?
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, did people who owned like these mines that were extremely dangerous feel like they were haunted by the spirits of the people that died in their mines?
Maybe.
Due to accidents and stuff. I mean, I guess they may not have been superstitious people like that, but it's interesting to think about, you know, because that is also another thing. It's like you send someone down into a mine to try and mine the silver to build your wealth, and that person who's mining the silver dies?
Yeah.
What was that?
My arm is on this, but it doesn't make that sound.
No, there was like a beep. It sounded like it was from back in the dining room.
Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't have to be on here, but what if we could, just for something different, set up the camera here?
What the hell?
I had my arm on the banister. Let me do it again.
Okay.
No.
Nothing. Interesting.
we could leave a camera set up and maybe take the REM pod and go out and do a burst session right at the gazebo for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that camera is set up. And now that that camera's all good to go, we're going to go out to the gazebo where Dawn told us that the original, I guess, the shaft was, the entrance to the mine was. Is that what she said?
I think it was like the portal.
The mine portal was right there, and that's the one that collapsed. 129 miners trapped down below ground, so
It's worth a shot. Yeah. Here, I'll give this to you.
okay. So, if there's any miners out here, anyone that actually worked for the Comstock load, and you can hear our voice, can you touch that red light that I just set there right above this, what we believe or what we were told was the mine portal? Any of those 129 men that were trapped below ground?
What's that?
I don't know. You know, it would be pretty eerie. Because...
Thank you.
Wow.
You can keep trying that.
I was...
Wow.
Let me test something here. No, it wasn't me. I don't think.
Yeah, but you weren't moving.
No. Not the first time. The second time I'm talking about.
Step this way, just in case.
The first time I didn't move. The second time I stepped my foot right here on this board.
Okay. Whoa.
Okay. Give it a second to reset. We know for sure we're not moving. Whoa. Excuse me. I was laughing because I heard a cat in heat. Did you hear it?
Yes.
But what I was going to say is, it'd be pretty eerie being the Mackay family, knowing that this mine portal right here is where the collapse happened, or, you know, I can't remember what year she said it happened, but, you know, if the Mackays still lived in that mansion over there, being able to look out their window and see the mine portal.
Yeah.
And knowing there was 129 men trapped in the mine down there.
Yeah, because every time you walked out your house, you would think about it.
Right. Like Dave asked, can you touch that again for us? I tell you what, here's something better. Instead of just endlessly asking you to touch a red light, EVP? Outside? Oh, son of a...
Because this REM pod is a few years old, large vibrations will set it off, And it seems every time we shift our weight on the gazebo floor, those vibrations cause the center of this floor to bounce under the table, setting off the REM pod. It's obvious now that we need to move it, or else every footstep or shift of our weight will set it off.
So we ended up moving the REM pod over here to this side because when it was sitting on the table, because of the way the floor is built, it seems like every time you would walk on this floor, the very center would bounce. And because of that, it was bouncing the table, causing the REM pod to go off, sitting on that table. Even though nobody was moving or bouncing or even taking any steps the first time that went off, we have to say that that was the reason, because more than likely there was some vibration of some kind that caused that to bounce and go off. So I'm going to do an EVP session right here. EVP, rolling. If there's anyone out here, can you speak into that red light that I just put on this table if you're one of those miners that's trapped below ground? Can you say something to us?
Can you tell us what your name is?
I heard a whistle there. Could have been a bird, but... Did you work for the Comstock load? What do you think of John Mackay?
If your soul is still here on these grounds, can you touch the red light that we set up?
Okay, I'll listen back. So I don't want this one to get too long.
Yeah.
If your soul is still here on these grounds, can you touch the red light that we set up?
What was that?
Okay, hear me out. I hear me. Sounds like someone goes, me.
Okay. There's
Slow motion.
there's more after that.
Is there?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is, I slowed it down there, so let me. the recording was pretty much done, so I'm not sure, but let us know what you guys hear down in the comments. I mean, obviously, if we're able to debunk it and cross-reference it on the video, if one of us made some sort of noise that was picked up on this, we'll definitely have let you know. We'll have already have let you know. No, we will have already have let you know. We will have already let you know if we found something. I'm so tired.
It's been a long day, you guys.
And we weren't able to find, everything around here closes before 9 p.m., so we couldn't find any coffee or anything.
No.
So we're going without caffeine on this. My brain is zapped.
Well, luckily it's the end of the night, so
Yes.
I say we go back in there, gather our things, and bid farewell to the Mackay Mansion.
Yeah, let's head back in and grab this camera and bid farewell to Mackay Mansion. All right, Dave, we've come to the end of another investigation here in Virginia City, Nevada, at the famous and allegedly haunted Mackay Mansion. What'd you think?
I thought it was really cool. A lot of history that I didn't know about here, obviously because I don't live here, but it was cool to learn about some new history and to learn about the hauntings here as well. And if you've never been here, come out and take a tour, do a ghost hunt. It's really cool just to even learn the history from Dawn. She's a very good tour guide. And I have thoroughly enjoyed myself here tonight.
Yeah, I would love to come back here one day. I mean, this place is beautiful. There's so many cool places in Virginia City. It's one of the most historic places on the western part of the United States. There's so many ghost stories to go along with it. And our night here at the Mackay Mansion is one that we probably won't soon forget.
Except for me, because I forget everything.
But we did have some creepy experiences. I mean, some creepy things happened. That shadow that you saw, we're not sure whether we caught that on camera.
I hope so.
I hope we caught something in relation to that on camera, but you already watching this far in the episode, you know if we did or not. In this moment, we don't know. So we're excited to find out. But we also had some creepy responses on the Estes and some other things that we don't even know about due to the abandonment because we weren't here and we still have to review all that footage.
That's right. And if you guys enjoyed this video and you made it this far along, leave us a comment by Mr. Mark Twain, who spent some time in this house. Leave this comment below. It says, "Nothing so needs reforming as other people's habits." And that is so true. Like your habit of not hitting the like button.
That's right.
Do it. Change that habit.
Reform that habit. Hit the like button. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. And if you made it that far in the video and you commented that down below, we really appreciate it. And make sure you also comment if you saw anything in this video that we missed. Stay tuned because we have some amazing locations still yet to come. There's a lot to go on this road trip. We're going to be going to multiple other locations in Virginia City, Nevada.
And there's also going to be a really cool collab that you guys don't want to miss here in the channel.
That's right. So we will see you next time on the next investigation at the next location on our paranormal quest. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, if you enjoyed that episode, maybe click on one of these other videos and watch some more. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, click on this button right down below. We want to thank all of our YouTube members and Patreon supporters for making all of this possible. And we'll see you next time